Hey, and how's it going there, Rogue Duelist? This is Dio Rogue coming at you with my Yugi's Legendary GOAT deck profile. First off, we got the main deck. This is mostly a singleton deck consisting of various monsters and thematic cards that Yugi had used in the anime, just kind of just thrown in there. Either cards that he had used, stuff his friends used, stuff that he had in his decks, shit that was relative to it, and cards that I just replaced just because others were banned and had justified a reason just to put them in there, you know. So starting off, we got the BLS, obviously a great one. We gotta have that 3K beater with the banish effect and double attack, always a good guy. We got the Dark Magician of Chaos next. Always good to get Respell Recursion and Banish. And just because it's just the giggles, we got Dark Magician, DMG, Buster Blader. I got some for those later on. We got the Silent Swordsman. This is one of the few tribute monsters I thought would be pretty fun to have, considering it also has like a pseudo floodgate effect. Rounding off the tributes, we got Summon Skull, just have the good old 25 beater. Next up is Skilled Dark Magician, 19 just to get in the Dark Magician. Same with Skilled White. Got Gemini Elf. Forgot where this was used from. I think it was in a game somewhere I saw. I'm not sure. I just like the 19 beater. I got Neo. The same reason, similar reason. It was in his hand at one point in the anime, but he never used it. Breaker. It was in the same duel as Neo, but he chose Breaker, and we obviously know how iconic that was. We got the Magnet Warriors. These guys are pretty funny, kind of iconic. I like their roundabout attack and defense stats. We got the Mystical Elf and Celtic Guard, just iconic monsters that are always decent to have. Celtic Guard obviously came up at one point. King of the Swamps, just to add polymerization and fuse off Buster Blade or Dark Mission in case we didn't have the other piece. Fun cards, we have Sangan just to float into our smaller monsters. Also, this looks like Karibo, just so I threw it in there. We got Cyberjar. It's a spell card in the anime, and he had it in his deck originally, I think in Battle City, but it was just never used. Probably just never saw it. Giant Soldier Stone, another iconic monster defender. We got Apprentice Magician and Magician of Faith. He used Taya as Magician of Faith in the anime. Apprentice I just threw in there just to get into it and to get into other monsters like Karibo and a Magical Merchant. This is a secret rare Karibo as well. I like it. This just gets me into my spells. I don't think he used it in the anime at all. I just use it as a spell filter and just to get stuff in the graveyard. It's also a light just for BLS. For spells, we got Smashing Ground, we got Graceful Charity, Heavy Storm, Giant Trunade, Premature Burial, Brain Control. What's that? A lot of good power cards here. Snatch Shield, the One of Polymerization, Mystical Space Typhoon, Delinquent Swords, cards. Obviously the Pot of Greed, United, Mage Power, Reasoning, and Emblem. Horny Unicorn, Swap Out. Same with this. This is pretty much Horny Unicorn. This is pretty much the spell book for DMG. Didn't have that. This is just to get into bigger monsters easily. Obviously we have the Searcher for the Emblem. He's both these cards. Same with this. I believe he used Confiscation or something similar at one point in anime, so I threw it in there. Always need MST, Poly. It's just change of heart. Same with, well, no, he used Brain Control at one point, or Mind Control. Same thing, so I just kind of threw those in there instead. Monster Reborn, same with Call of Haunted. I believe there's another card similar to Monster Reborn that they use as well, so I just threw that in there. Joey has Giant Trunade, so I just threw that in there just because heavy stone just for spell trap removal. You always just gotta have it in there. I have real no reason as to why I threw in there. Probably just like dispel, remove trap is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. Graceful, obviously, and this is that Soul Taker card that I swapped out for that gives your opponent 1,000 life force. I thought that was really bad, so I just took that out instead. So I will get these out of here. And now I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking with Mage Shower's Magic Formula. That's what it was. For trap cards now we have Trenchel, which is say our friend Mega Tsunami gave us this wink wink. Call the Haunted, Secondary Monster Reborn. We got the good old Mirror Force. We got Bottomless Trap Hole. Substitute this out for a what was the card? I know he had like a removal trap in there, I forgot. Magic Cylinder, Dust Tornado, same reason. Now, moving on to our extra deck. It's not very big just because we are running only Yugi'S cards. Oh yeah, Sangan was the replacement for Witch of the Black Forest, that's what it was. Little Yugi's out in the anime, I believe. Extra deck, we got 2 Dark Paladin just because it sometimes comes up. Black Skull Dragon, Dark Flare Knight. I don't have Mirage Knight, so don't question my choices. Sandwich, Yugi tokens, and a 1 Seto token. But yeah, that's all I could really scrounge around for an extra deck that was actually justifiable. Yugi used the Black Skull Dragon, Sandwich just Sandwich, and Dark Flare Knight was something that they both used. So now we'll move on to the side deck. This is just stuff that I thought would just come up. This is obviously like cards he could just craft out of nowhere. Shit like that, the Heart of the Cards draw, show that his friends gave him, and cards that he used himself. I just threw them to the sideboard as just cause reasons. Just because they're also just good ghost staples, and you could just never go wrong with them. So we got Jinzo, obviously, good as traps, Exile Forest, more removal, Exchange to use it, Scapegoat Joey used it, Defusion used it. So release, I believe he used it in anime at some point. No Man crossed out Heart of the Card reasoning, same with Book of Moon. Kaiba gave me this, same with my boy Odeon. I believe this was used in the anime, I believe during Duelist Kingdom or Battle City. We got Regeki Break, has a Heart of the Card thing, same with Solemn, has like a secondary horn S card. I believe there was like another counter trap that he had in anime, just never got printed, but something similar to that. He would probably use this in anime if it was ever printed during his era. We got Chain Destruction just because everyone runs floaters, and you can really never go wrong with that. Chain Destruction is really fucking good for a lot of good reasons, you know? So this is my Yugi Legendary deck GOAT profile. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I think it was really fun. I brought it to a tournament and I had a blast with it. I actually summoned the Dark Paladin, I summoned Demok, I summoned Dark Magician and Buster Blader. I also summoned Skull at one point, which is really funny. The Buster Blader summon was even funnier, but I also summoned Dark Paladin during one of my first games. It was actually hilarious, and it was after the Blackluster Soldier summon. Like, imagine you just slap this down in front of your opponent and you're like, yeah, game. And then just, oh, I got hit with a Ring of Destruction, but yeah, otherwise, if it was anything else like a Scapegoat, you could just negate. I thought it was really fun, and I had a great time playing this deck, and I would honestly do it again. It does stand a little bit of a chance, but not a great chance, obviously. It's just a bunch of random shit thrown together. You could probably swap out the Magnus with shit like Dekoichi and call it good. It's a really fun deck idea. I'd probably also just swap out the Buster Blader with just the Dark Magician and just run Mystic Tomato. No, that wouldn't work, actually. I would just run one of the other, and then just, or maybe, I don't know. I have a lot of fun ideas with it, but I'll have to think about that later. Y'all have a good night, and hope to catch y'all on the flip side.